It's not how I would have drew it up, guys. Not how I had it planned. Would have loved to go in on a win last night, but clinched. The way it rolls off the tongue, clinched. Your New Jersey Devils are headed back to the NHL playoffs. Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And wow, guys. Whew. Wow. Oh, wow. The emotions watching. And I'm going to start off by saying that it does feel slightly gross. I do feel a little bit of the ick for being this excited about just making the playoffs, especially off of another team's loss. Let me just get that out of the way. I'm almost ashamed of myself, if I'm being perfectly honest. But the playoffs is what you got to get to. And like I said, I feel gross that I'm this excited about it for just making the playoffs. But after the season we've had and after the season we had last year, we deserve this. We absolutely deserve this. It's been a hell of a season. It was a hell of a season last year. It's been nearly 2 years since our last playoff game. Entirely too long. And the New Jersey Devils are headed to the playoffs. And I know a lot of people were like, oh, we were 95% and all the percentages. And I don't care. When it's official, it's official. And tonight, my friends, it became official. Flyers did us a huge favor, knocking off the New York Rangers. Did they put another one in the empty net there? Yeah, by a score of 8-5, a back and forth one, complete heart attack kind of. They were up late, then they gave it up, and then it was a back and forth fiasco. And I thought, oh my God, this is terrible. Are they not going to pull out this win for us? But in the end, the Flyers got the job done. The Rangers are nearly dead. I think one more point from Montreal or something. We'll put them out officially. But that win by the Flyers puts your New Jersey Devils officially into the NHL playoffs. Welcome to the tournament, my friends. The Devils will be in it. Wow. Breathe. Exhale. Wow. I'm just happy it happened now. Again, would have scripted it differently, would have wished for a win last night, and we could have been celebrating, but I will celebrate just the same. Your New Jersey Devils are headed to the postseason. And guys, I guess it's not win or lose we booze, but it's I guess win or lose, win or someone else's loss to get into the playoffs we booze. And I don't even know what the hell this is, but I pulled it off the bar cart. And like I said, I do feel a little gross for being this excited about just making the playoffs. But let's be real, guys. It's been a hell of a run here. It's been a hell of a run, and the Devils are going to the dance, guys. That's all that matters. We're going to the dance. I'm not really a champagne guy, as you guys know. I'm more of a, shots. Sometimes the vodka seltzers and whatever else. I got tin foil everywhere. But yeah, the New Jersey Devils clinched their playoff spot. Oh man, this is exciting stuff. But cheers to all of you guys. Cheers to the New Jersey Devils. We are headed to the playoffs, and that is a good-ass feeling. Obviously, a lot of us kind of feeling down and out after the trouncing we took last night at the hands of one of the worst teams in the league, the Boston Bruins, but we are back. We are going to the dance. Hopefully, they get their shit together. That's all we could hope for. I don't want to break my camera. Wow. Woo! It's all over, guys. It's all over. Not a champagne guy, but cheers to the New Jersey Devils. And this is going to be delicious. I don't even have proper champagne glasses. I don't even know what the hell this is. Is this like some sort of wine glass, or I don't even know. I don't know. I don't drink champagne here, but you know what? Cheers to all of you. It's been a hell of a ride. The roller coaster 25 New Jersey Devils are headed to the postseason, and when it hits your lips, this is playoff champagne. We are going to the dance. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Oh wow, there's a lot of chatter already. World's Worst Gamer. I wish I was a betting man, as I would have made some nice money tonight. I'm assuming you thought the Flyers were going to win. You should have bet. I mean, sports gambling, it's getting rammed down your throat everywhere. You might as well. Oh. Ethan says, call me crazy, but I feel we could beat the Canes. Goes to game 6 or 7. Oh, man. Beating the Canes would be phenomenal. Phenomenal. They've had our number forever. And it's time we get retribution. If we're ever going to do it, now's the time. They're on a little bit of a decline. Obviously, still a great team. And Aaron with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Ace, we're in the playoffs. Let's go Devils. I got to ask, though, how is it witnessing history on the island? I talked about this after the last game. It was incredible. It feels different as a fan of the sport when you're watching a record, of the match. Let's be honest, to me, and obviously I'm a hockey fan, but I think most, even casual sports fans would be able to kind of recognize the significance of, in the grand scheme of all, sports records, the NHL all-time goal scoring record it's right up there with, MLB most home runs, or I guess for NBA, you'd go, total points, which LeBron just got, whoop-de-doo. Jordan will always be the GOAT. But anyway, the NHL goals record's a big deal, not just for hockey, sports wide. And to see it happen right, and literally it was right in front of me. Shout out to my boy Pat for the invite to the game and the ticket. He's an Islander fan and happened to have tickets in his package to go to that game. And the visiting team only shoots on the net directly in front of his seats for the second period. And sure enough, that's where Ovechkin scored. And if you saw the vlog, he's literally scored it right in front of us. And it was unbelievable. Definitely a different kind of vibe than, when it's something your team is doing. Like, I talked about the Marty 552, a little different, a little more special to me, just because, while it's not as big of a record as the goals record, to watch Marty's career and, he's your favorite player on your favorite team for all those years, it was a little different. But seeing an NHL record live is completely insane. And I don't think that'll ever be broken. If anyone hasn't seen the vlog from Ovechkin breaking the record, I just put the link in the chat. But it definitely was awesome. It was awesome to see the record. But your New Jersey Devils, guys, wow. Resting Guitar Face playoffs. Eddie woo. Meadowlander backing into a playoff berth courtesy of the hapless Rags. I'll take it anyway. Jack says, congrats, man. Don't take this moment for granted, considering this is only the third time in the last 1,200 years it's happened. All hype, no breaks is Prime 4867. Blackatron, thank you, Flyers. Brendan plays as Clinched. What's going on, Traveling Devil? Brendan plays confirmed matchup with Carolina, the one we all knew that was coming. It pretty much seemed inevitable for quite some time. The showdown in the making. Your New Jersey Devils are going to Carolina. We are going to start the playoffs on the road in Raleigh, and we're looking to do it big. We are looking to do it huge. Let me see what we got going on here. Joe Cade, yes. Thank you for the super. How could I forget? Amidst my excitement about the playoffs burst, I have to, a moment of silence. Rest in peace, former Devils general manager Ray Shero. Terrible news. I'm going to observe a moment of silence for Ray. Absolutely tragic news out of the hockey world. Ray Shero passed away today. He was only like 62, I believe. Former New Jersey Devil general manager, was here before Fitz took over. His staff, I guess indirectly or directly, was responsible for finding the greatest draft pick find, I would say, in New Jersey Devils history, with Jesperbratt in the 6th round. And Shero was here for some sort of dark times. But what an unfortunate thing to hear that, 62, super young. Rest in peace to Ray Shero, and, thoughts and prayers to his family. It's terrible news to see. Searle says, don't take this for granted. I know the Doomers will, ironically. Oh, man, they're never happy. Listen, guys, we are going to the playoffs. We missed last year. And let's be honest. I mean, a lot of people were saying all year, like, oh, they're making it no matter what. But I did not feel that way. And I was honest about it at the time. I said, and I guess it was probably points of February. I was like, listen, while we are favored to make the playoffs, I did not feel comfortable about it and thought there was definitely a chance where we could have missed. I mean, a lot of the teams in the Metro, like last year, just absolutely suck, and no one wanted to claim the playoff spot, and we did get a lot of help. But listen, I will take it gladly. Anytime you can get to the playoffs, and anything could happen. I know everyone's down on the Devils right now because we are, just about 24 hours removed from getting pummeled on home ice by the Bruins in a game where we could have finally got the elusive 4-game winning streak and clinch the playoff spot. But here we are. No matter how the circumstances played out at the end, your New Jersey Devils are heading to the playoffs. And I'm super curious now that we have clinched, how this will affect Sheldon Keefe going forward in a lot of regards, right? It's like, what is he going to do about goaltending starts? I'm curious to see how he plays that. I'm curious to see if he keeps Seamus Casey in the lineup, or if he tries to give other guys a look, whether that's Nemitz and or Chalowski. If some of the other guys, I'd imagine Pesci will probably rest a game or two before the playoffs, as well as maybe some other guys. There's probably a lot of guys with little nagging, kind of lingering aches and pains. And I do think now, having clinched with about a week, and it's actually exactly a week before the final game of the season, I do think that Keefe will use this time to kind of tinker with the lineup a little bit, but more importantly, rest guys that are kind of nursing shit so that everyone could get as close to fully healthy as possible before the playoff war. And we all know this is going to be a playoff war, guys. We are going to war in Raleigh. Oh, we just got to split. We just got to get a split there. If we could just go into Raleigh, and especially if you get in game one and put oh my God, Devils go in there and shock the world game one. Carolina is going to feel all that pressure in game two, obviously, because you can't lose the first two at home unless you're the 22-23 New Jersey Devils, which they obviously lost the first two at home to the New York Rangers before Akira Schmid, the hero, a franchise legend, goes into MSG and wins games 3 and 4, bringing it back to Jersey for game 5, and he wins that too. And then obviously he lost game 6 at the Garden and then came back with a shutout victory in game 7, a night that'll live in infamy. And that is why, my friends, on this channel, Akira Schmid will always be a franchise legend. But wow, a new matchup with the Canes. Let's go. The newest chapter. Billy, thank you, Flyers. Now we can focus on the Canes the whole new season. Hope the Devils show up. Let's go, Devils. Let's go, Devils. Let's go, Michael. That's right. Shoots playoffs. Resting guitar face. Holy shit, things were real dark a couple months ago. I really thought we were done when Jack went down. A lot of people did. But here we are. We're still standing. We are still standing, and we are going to the postseason. Joseph says it's the Rags. Don't feel gross about it. Joe Cade, whether it's Devils winning or Rangers losing, don't matter to me. Playoffs 2025. We are in. Ashton, not yet, it says. Oh, we're in, Ashton. We're jumping on here live quicker than they could update the site, but we are in. Brian Decker, cool, we're in. Not the way I want to get in, but we're in, boys and gals. Let's go, Devs. Yeah, not the most thrilling way to do it, but in the end, we are in, playoff bound, and it feels so good. It feels so good. Ryan, I'm happy, but I already know we're getting sweeper for, I guess that meant to say swept first round. Come on, man. Have some faith. Vic says, let's go, Rags suck. Shoots that beautiful X-Bar name in the standings. It's oh so beautiful. That's true, Vic. Not often you score 5 and lose by 8. Rags suck. Yeah, losing 8-5. That's brutal. That's like a 1980s NHL score. Traveling Devil says, thanks, Flyers. I'll never say that again. Paulie Walnuts would have rather had the Devils stamp their own ticket to the playoffs. Thank you, Flyers. Yeah, I wanted to win last night, guys. I did. But you know what? I'll take this way, too. It would have been, much sweeter going in off of a win last night and getting the 4 games in a row. It was set up to be a beautiful, beautiful night at the Rock last night, and it was anything but. It was honestly, it couldn't have actually been more opposite. It ended up being a travesty on home ice. Knowles, my one and only time to say thank you, Philly, for abusing the Rags. Resting guitar face, my God, I'm so happy. Even with a round 1 loss, I think I'll be happy. I do think we can take Carolina if we get a couple of breaks. We got to win the round. Just getting there, like I said, I do feel gross about being this happy we're getting in the playoffs. But with all the injuries and all the nonsense and seeming like the executive team kind of punted on yet another season, the team and Sheldon Keefe were like, no chance. We're not throwing this one away. We are going to fight. We are going to scratch and claw down the stretch. And here we are, guys. Your New Jersey Devils matching up with the Carolina Hurricanes. Oh, man, it's going to be – they better be ready for war. They better be. Vic says, smash that like. Thanks. Hit the thumbs up for your boy. Hit the thumbs up for your boy. Nicholas, do you remember the amount of shit Rangers fans in this chat spoke when they beat us once this year? They're obnoxious. What are you going to do? They've gone from regular season champs to chumps. President's Trophy winners last year and not in the playoffs this year. That is ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. Searle says, anyone who doesn't know, Ray Shiro has passed away. R.I.P. to a good man. Yeah, it's terrible news. Husky Unchained, Mission 16. It's official. Let's go. Jay Snow, mad funny. I was just thinking Ace going to come stream after clinching. You know your boy Ace is going to come on here. We're going to the playoffs, guys. I've been screaming playoffs or bust from, I don't know, probably sometime last February, shortly after I started. I mean, I had the channel, but I wasn't like actively, making videos that I was talking in. They were just like videos like games. But ever since, shortly after that, I would say probably February of last year, I was saying playoffs or bust all of last year into the deadline. Obviously, we did, way before the deadline, I should say, when the goalies were terrible. We did nothing. We get 2 goalies at the deadline. It was too late, but it is what it is. The season that got away from us. And I was saying playoffs or bust immediately after the last horn of the last game of the season last year. All summer long, playoffs or bust, playoffs or bust, win now, playoffs or bust, win now, playoffs or bust. All season. And I wish we did more in season in terms of, bringing players in, but here we are. Despite all the injuries, despite all the nonsense, the New Jersey Devils, playoff bound, Jay Snow. Of course, it's a hard matchup, Keith, but, it wouldn't be so sweet when you win if it wasn't hard, right? Sherry says, I'm cautiously optimistic, Ace. I'm optimistic, too. There's nothing else I can be but optimistic. On paper, well, we're expected to get killed, but anything could happen. Max says the Rangers are dreadful. Yeah, they looked horrible. I mean, that was just a crazy... I think they've been probably mentally checked out for a minute now. Prime 4867 says cup bound. Listen, I'm not going to make a bold proclamation like that, but obviously I would love to see it. Getting to the cup finals would be insane. I just want to get out of the first round and then see what we could do. I do believe if somehow they could win that first round against the Canes, confidence will be at an all-time high and they'll be buzzing. Yeah, we're popping bottles. It's been a very rough year. Playoffs? Yeah, Ted, that's right. Playoffs. Jay Snow, at least we cannot have to kill ourselves these last 4 games. True. But with that being said, I do want the team to try to find their game and kind of use it as a playoffs dress rehearsal because the team has been so inconsistent all year long. We just had 3 beautiful games out of Marquee with the 2 games against the Wild, 1 home, 1 away. The shutout win over the Rangers, and then we come and lay an egg in the biggest game of the year to date where we could have finally got a 4-game winning streak and clinched the playoffs on our own, and we just got absolutely destroyed last night. Husky Unchained, kind of like going to the dance with your sister, though. Oh, come on, man. It's not as bad as that. Going to the dance with your sister? Searle, ironically, I think we got one of the better matchups in the East, but I try not to worry about that as there's no easy cup route. Not that I think we're running a cup this year. You just got to hope for the best and root the boys on. I'm hoping we could get hot at the right time and shock the world. Shock the friggin' world. Would be phenomenal. But getting out of that first round would be huge on so many levels. What's going on, Sherry? Cheers to you, Zach. Cape Dweller, I wonder what Devs Pens have planned for Saturday on the news of Shiro's passing. Oh, yeah, they'll probably have a video tribute or something for him on the board, I'd imagine. Prime, 16 more to go. Can't sleep. Mini Pizza. Dougie might be back. Yeah, that's what they're saying now. Imagine Dougie comes back for the first round. Oh, man, let's go. Let's get the troops fired up. I have to believe that would be a nice boost to the locker room. Dougie coming in for the first round, or even, I mean, it'd be great if he came back for a game before that, but maybe they don't want to push it. At this point, I do think I originally thought he was done for the year the way Fitzgerald was talking, but now I believe that, he will play in the first round of the playoffs. That'd be insane. Vic, Doomers will doom. Haters in particular, SST will hate. But I must say, if we play like we did against the Rags, we very well could get by the Canes. Yeah, that's the multi-million-dollar if, though. Can they get, if they play like that? Blackatron, carefully, his champagne gets you turned. No, not me, man. I have a high tolerance from liquor, and I weigh a lot. I don't think even if I took the whole bottle down, it would do anything to me. And then I'll be face planted on the keyboard in 20 minutes. Steve Smith, I hate whiskey, but it's all I have, so I'll drink with you to celebrate. Also a toast to Ray Shiro. Yeah, to Ray and your New Jersey Devils making the playoffs. No, it's some kind of it's not sparkling cider. It's I guess it's champagne. Yeah. Jacques Ballard. I have no idea. I think I've only bought champagne like twice in my life. Oh, man. Shiro and company drafted Bratt and whoever else. Mm-hmm. Jason, no, Devils have to do something with the Dowling, Palat, Tatar line. Well, I think now with these next 4 games, you might see some kind of experiments. We might see some Sheldon Keefe experiments in wake of, the games not meaning much outside of getting your team ready to go to playoff war. I can't stress that enough. Like, if you just go out there and half-ass it and don't take it serious, I don't like that either. I do think that, poses a potential danger where you're not, at the right level going into the playoffs. And 4 games is not a ton, but I think it's enough to where, you treat that like a dress rehearsal for the playoffs outside of, with the caveat of guys are going to be resting for sure. I'm sure, I could even see Luke maybe getting a game or 2 rest. Pesci, maybe some of the forwards. I think there's guys definitely nicked up. So I think they're going to use that to get the rest. But, they got to play intense. This is the lead up to the moment we've all been waiting for. Max, I think with the pressure to clinch gone, we will see a looser group on Friday having fun. Oh, we're going to see. We are going to see. Sid and the Pens come to town. Rise is happy, but let's be real. We're not making it past first round. Did I already read that, or did you say it again? I believe they can win. Stanley, playoffs might not be the loftiest of the goals, but I'll take it. Some good news on an otherwise sad day. Rest in peace, Ray. Yeah, terrible, terrible stuff. Jay Snow, can our D court not turn the puck over in the D zone? That's going to be the biggest challenge. Yeah, the Canes are going to be bringing it. They're tested. They're a tested veteran group who has been down this road. It's going to really, to me, the series boils down to, can Markey be the true X factor, and can he steal at least one game? He's going to have to steal at least 1, if not 2, I think, for us to win the series. But, that's why you go out and get a guy like that when we did. I think he really can be the difference maker. Beating the Canes would be, oh, man. Max, if Carolina loses out and we went out, we can still get home ice. Yeah, that's not happening. Super, super unlikely. Rob says, we met them 5 times, won the first one, and have lost the last 4 playoff series. Devils are due. We are so overdue. The last time when we beat them, I believe, was 2001. On our way. Yeah, it was 2001. It was on our way to the Cup Finals for the second year in a row. And then, unfortunately, we lost in the finals to the Avalanche. A star-studded, just filthy, filthy team. Filthy, filthy team. Searle says the playoffs is essentially a black slate. I completely agree. Let's go, Devs. Let's go. We clinched, but we're not making it past first round. And if we do pull it off, it'll blow my mind. A lot of negativity here. It's not as crazy as people are saying. We are going to be a sizable underdog for sure, but it's not like we're talking about, an AHL team beating the best NHL team. It's not, the disparity is not that big. And especially with the hot goaltending X factor, if Markey could be dominant Markey, it could be the difference. If the Devils special teams perform at a high level, both the penalty kill and the power play, that's going to be a big factor in the series. It's going to be interesting. Retlaw, do we sit our top dogs? Not for all the games. I do expect everyone probably to get at least a game off. Resting up and mending before the playoffs. Pro Bowl Forever says Keefe is going to get outcoached by Brindamore. Mark my words, I'm just being a realist. Well, the good thing about that is you could still get outcoached and your team could still win. And so I'm hoping the guys on the ice get the job done. Vic says, I'd love it for Pesci, Nason Hall, and Dougie to clobber their former team. Yeah, a lot of former Canes on this Devils club. Maybe a little extra incentive to get the job done. Stephen, Merry Clinchmas. Merry Clinchmas. Why not us as stick figs? Why not us? Scott, best looking X I've ever seen. Obviously referring to the X next to the Devils in the standings, indicating that they have, in fact, clinched a playoff spot. Sick. Jason says, I don't know if it's outcoached. We might just be outmatched. All of the above could be true, but it also could be true that the New Jersey Devils rise to the occasion and find a way to get her done. Let's go, Devs. We made it. Thank you, Philly and Nashville, even though we're probably going to get a lot of negativity. Come on. Max says just need to get one on the road to stand a chance. I agree. If we get the split in Carolina would be huge. Coming back to the Rock 1-1 for game 3 would be awesome. I would really prefer, for us to win game 1 and then have Carolina feel that pressure in game 2. Be crazy. Aaron, we got 4 games to prepare for Carolina. I know it's tough not hitting that 4-game win streak, but hey, 3 out of the 4 through the playoffs gets us to the finals. Playoffs is a new season. Let's go, Devils. I'm fired up. Fired up. Pro Bolt says NJ is the better goalie tandem than Carolina. I'll say that. Yeah, and again, goaltending can be a very, very big factor in the playoffs, and I'm expecting it to be. Jacob Markstrom, guys. Stick figs. Wish it was with the win yesterday, but a clinch is a clinch. A lot of people, including many of our own, wrote us off in February. For sure. I was very concerned, but I did maintain that I thought they would make it. But we should have never had to sweat it the way that we did, given the start that we had to the season. Vic will always appreciate Akira. I was rooting from the other day versus the Avs. Vegas lost in a shootout, but he had a 946 save percentage. Pretty good. Damn, I forgot to see how that game ended. Max says, who wants to deposit their apologies? The Timomeier, Markey, Bratt, Nico. These people don't apologize. Yes, Jacob, we clinched because of the Rangers' loss. Amagi got my commemorative Akira Foco bobblehead for the Game 7 shutout. One of my favorite pieces. What a game that was. What a game. John says, win the whole damn thing for Ray. That would be awesome. Steven, I hate the Rangers with all my heart, but I'm going to miss Sam Rosen. I mean, yeah, he's such an icon. Obviously, I grew up, listening to him like everybody else for the past, 30 years. He's been doing it way longer than that, but, I've been watching and, seeing him for 30 years. It's a power play goal. Rich saw both Akira and Vitek on the list. Goalies Ovi never scored on. Yeah, that was pretty funny to see. And then Budweiser sent all those guys like some special commemorative beer or something. Great touch of marketing genius by the Budweiser company. I think I saw Curtis Joseph posted. I think some other guys did as well. Stanley, I was there when it happened. The curse of Shane Willis. Ever since the moment Stevens pulverized him in round 1, 2001, the Devils had nothing but misfortune against the Hurricanes. And don't forget when he clobbered Ron Francis as well. Scotty Stevens, what a legend, just putting guys down for the count. I remember Francis got up and he was on Bambi legs. I think he fell like 4 times, in 15 feet trying to get to the bench. He was just completely rocked and got up and just fell. It was pretty wild. But yeah, Scotty crushed Willis too. Max says, Ace, do we let Allen take the rest of the games except the last one against Detroit? No, definitely not. Definitely not. Markey's, especially because Markey's coming off that brutal loss. Keefe is going to go to Markey for the playoffs for sure, and it's not one of those situations where you just like, oh, let's rest him so he's fresh. Now, man, he needs to be in game action, feeling good about himself, not stewing about that absolute domination that we suffered last night. Poor Devils is on to Carolina. Rest up, I guess. Would rather get rolling before that. Yeah, it's not like they're going to just not try to win games, but there's definitely going to be some guys rested. Jacob, are the Devils locked into playing the Canes or just locked into the playoffs in general? Locked into the Canes. We are locked and loaded. Locked and loaded. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Four Devils had any Rags fans here? Thought not. Yes, they're surprisingly not here tonight. Ryan, Canes dropped the last 4 games, haven't won since March. It's the NHL playoffs and anything could happen. Let's get hot. Let's go, Ryan. Tell them. Anything can happen. It would be great for us to get hot and for them and for them to fall off a cliff simultaneously. Devils playing great. Canes on the come on now. Just got to beat them 4 out of 7. John, I saw a post on NHL's Facebook page. The Canes odds are set at -255 and the Devils are at +205. And the comments are saying the Devils over the Canes. I find it mind-boggling people have that much faith in us. Or it just could be the fact that people think, maybe it's finally time for the Canes to just take that loss. One more season of Fitz now. Oh, Fitz was coming back no matter what, Traveling Devil. Let's be real. Oh, he's not getting the boot, John. Come on. There's no chance. Oh, SST is being obnoxious again. I'm not even going to put him on the screen. Knowles, the NJ Devils app just made it official. It's on like Donkey Kong. Send the Canes home to New Jersey. Ace, give us your prediction. I think Devils in 5 games. I got to think about it. I might change my prediction. My initial prediction, I think, is Devils in 6. Devils in 6 is my initial thought. I don't think I'll budge from it. But that's kind of what comes to my mind right now in the moment. I hadn't really thought about an actual prediction per se, but I'm going to go Devils in 6. Four Devils says, I'll settle for a competitive series against the Canes. We are clear underdogs. That is loser mentality. No, it needs to be competitive to where we win. Must win. Knowles, Hamilton is back for round 1, apparently. Any word on Siegs? I haven't heard anything about him. I don't even know where he is at this juncture of life. I'd have to imagine that he's done for good. But again, if he comes back, it's a bonus. But I think he's done. Vince, wish we were bringing Gritsuk over the playoffs. Go try to give a little scoring bump to the middle 6, but I understand wanting his ELC for next season. No, I want to know the true story behind that. If we were just trying to save his entry level for next year, that's a terrible. I think that's horrible. If you want to win, you should flip every lever possible to you. I originally thought it was because of some issue with the KHL team, but if it does in fact come out that the reason he didn't sign this year is because it was something the Devils did or said with trying to, save his entry level for next year, I think that is another gross misstep, on the season. And I hope that's not the case, but I'm curious to see, if we ever get the story behind it. And I know Gritsuk posted like his goodbye to his KHL team on Instagram. I thought that was kind of odd if there wasn't a deal that was imminent, like meaning like, he knew he was coming here in the next couple weeks. Strange stuff, but I definitely will be keeping an eye on that to see how that kind of all unfolds. Sunrise Arts Cinema, low expectations, but a fun ride, house money. Well, yes and no. I could understand why you kind of feel that way, but we got to win. Got to win. Cody Skills, we're in, but if we play like we did in December, honestly, we could have a chance. Yeah. Got to play like we did in December, and it starts with heavier, edgier, more violent. Must be heavier, edgier, more violent, and get really involved in this thing. Prezify, yo, Ace, what's going on? Collect records, let's go. I hope Luke kicks that little dork Sebastian Aho's ass like his brother did playoff bound. That was a great little wrestling match in game. Was that game 3? I think that was game 3. Yeah, I went to both of the Canes games. It was game 3. Yeah, that was 23 months ago, roughly. It was May 7th of 23. Crazy. Select the boy once again. Back is the incredible, playoff credible NJ Devils. I don't know about that. What's going on? Max Kaprizov is back. That's a major boost for Minnesota. I don't care about Minnesota, Max. I just want to see this New Jersey Devils team finally beat the Hurricanes. Oh, I hate them. Ryan Demand clinched. Let's go Devils. Jay Snow, they're going to play Foot, Bastion, and Lazar. I'd imagine that those guys will at least get a game or two down the stretch here. while other guys are rested. Max says Carolina's goal horn gives me PTSD. I think it gives it to a lot of us. Let's go Devils 95, 2000, 2003. Imagine if we get that 4-game heater to end off the season. That would be great. And that would be pretty funny. But at this juncture, it is crazy. The last 13 times we had a 3-game winning streak, we lost the game after, which would have been a 4-game winning streak. 13 times in a row over 2 years. 2 years and 2 months. 13 times in a row, we could not get a 4-game winning streak. It is psychotic. A couple of the guys, Stick Figs and someone else, ran the numbers. I think they said it was a 1 in, to flip a coin and have it go the same way 13 times. I believe they said it was 1 in 8,192. It was like a 0.000012% chance or something crazy. Jason says everyone in the media is picking the Canes in 4 or 5. Perfect. I love the good underdog story. And I'll tell you one that comes to mind right away. Everyone in the 1995 Stanley Cup Finals said that the mighty Detroit Red Wings were going to kill the Devils, probably sweep them. And what happened? The New Jersey Devils swept the mighty Red Wings to capture the first Stanley Cup in franchise history. Beautiful stuff. For Devil, honest question. Worst case, bounced in 4 against Canes. Is it considered a successful or failure season? Failure. Failure for sure. Complete failure. Cody Skills says it's more like 42% Devils to 58% Carolina. I don't care, Jason, that no one's picking the Devils to make it a series. What do those people know? Riot and Respect, thank you for the super, sir. Ace, the series is about to be super toxic, and I'm here for it. Let's go Devils. I expect a lot of trash talk probably, at least on the internets, amongst the fan bases. I don't know if we're going to get juicy kind of rivalries or quotes with, from the players back and forth. That obviously always makes it more interesting. And I would love to see that. But I do think there is a lot of Canes fans that are super obnoxious. I mean, listen, there's obnoxious fans of every sports team in existence. So, that'll be no different. But it should be a good one. It should absolutely be a good one. And I'm super pumped. I hope all those guys remember. If I was Keefe, I would make them all watch game 5 of when they eliminated us in 23. And let them relive that for the guys that were here. And there's a lot of them that were here. A lot of them were here. But thank you for the super, Riot. It should be a very toxic, super toxic series. Dennis, what is up with the people saying they have no chance? Playoffs is a fresh start and regular season means nothing. Devils definitely have a chance to win. It's very sensible of you, Dennis. A lot of these people are doomers and, naysayers and yada, yada. And it's all good. I don't let it affect me. Like you said, it is a fresh slate, a new start. Anything could happen in the playoffs. We've seen it time and time again. And I do understand why people are, kind of pessimistic about this team at the moment, especially coming fresh off of a beatdown like last night and kind of the scarring memories we have from throughout the season with, blown leads or, not showing up for entire games or whatever it is, devastating type losses. But I do hope that somehow, some way, once the playoffs come, that they kind of clean it up and get hot at the right time. It might be asking for a lot, but crazier things have happened. Alex says, I predict Devils win Series 4-2 versus Canes. Bratt and Hischier will be instrumental. Well, I think if we're ever to win a series, it's obviously Bratt and nicohischier are going to have to play a huge part in it for sure, as well as many other guys, depth pieces, goaltending, defense. Everything's going to have to come together like a beautiful orchestra, but I do believe it could happen. Max, let the media doubt us. We don't give a flying. Tell him, Max. Tell him. Why not us? The whole world could be against the Devils. It doesn't matter. MerchTube A started watching at the beginning of the season. It's been fun being on this ride with you. Let's go Devils. Why not us? Let's go, MerchTube. Why not us? A new season is about to begin, and these boys should want some revenge. They all the guys that were here in 23, tons of them, tons of the same guys. They should all want blood and to knock this team out. Amagi, I'm going to bet on the Canes so the Devils make it to round 2. I hate people that do that. And obviously another storyline coming out of this Cape Dwellers, Keith looking for that elusive second round. Could never get over the hump. Let me just check something. He did make it to the second round once in 22-23. He got to the second round, and they lost to the Panthers. But every other year it was a first round and out. John, honestly, let the entire league doubt us. It will only fuel the possible fire. Oh, man. Come on. Let's go. Traveling Devil, Carolina isn't a team of Hall of Famers, and the Devils a team of beer leaguers. Devils could win the series. Yeah, for sure. I'm pumped for it. Mark is going to be fired up. Vic, home ice don't matter. Aren't we a better road team this year anyway? Yeah, but the playoffs is a different animal, man. Even for the Prudential Center crowd, if you compare an average, regular season game Devils crowd at the Rock versus what the typical crowd at the playoffs are, it is very different. It feels different. The whole kind of aura of a game live in the playoffs, and it just intensifies as the rounds go on. And so the second round, there's more of a, spectacle of the whole thing. And then the conference finals, and obviously the cup finals is like, it's like adult Disneyland for me. When it cup finals games, I get goosebumps thinking about it. It's been 13 long years since your boy went to a cup finals game. 2012, your New Jersey Devils with home ice too over the Kings, man. That one's always going to sting. That one's always going to sting for sure. We only could have won one of the first two games at home. I do think we had a fighting chance. Party Burger, we play good against all the Eastern Conference playoff teams this year for the most part. I'm confident we could pass the Canes. Playoffs are a clean slate. It's the West Coast teams I worry about. Well, luckily, due to the playoff format, we wouldn't have to worry about any of the West Coast teams until the Cup Finals. Oh, man, if we made the Cup Finals, let's just focus on Carolina. I just want to beat them desperately. And then, again, anything could happen once you get out of the first round. Four Devils says, can't help but feel Fitz has handicapped the team limping into the playoffs. I agree, but I'm not going to dwell on negativity. I could talk about that all day and night. But here we are. We got the guys we got, and we got to make the most of it. And hopefully they're, hungry to go out there and kick some ass. Maria was with the group in the high five tunnel last night and told Nace you're beating Carolina. Very nice. How did you enjoy it? Did you like the high five tunnel, Maria? It's always a fun time. Brendan, I'll apologize for my BS yesterday. Bad day for me all around. Max, Ace, my spreadsheet is updated with the Devils with an X highlighted in green. Oh, yeah. That's the clinch cell color. Green. Vic Rosen will always be great. Doc will always be goated. Doc is crazy. To have Doc for all those years, I think I'm going to ban every name SST makes because he's just obnoxious. Sad Jets fan, nightmare matchup for us, but if the Blue Jackets could sweep the 128-point Lightning, anything could happen. I've been saying that all year. Anything could happen, and that's why they play the games, guys. Yes. Are we an underdog? Yes. Are we expected to lose by most? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean jack. Devin says Markey bobblehead night is versus Detroit. He's got to play. I forgot about that. Dougie should be back for the first round, George. Is what it seems like. From everything they're saying and what we're seeing, it's looking like Jacob Markstrom could be back in net for the first round. Jake, I'm on it. Talking about Doug. I'm an idiot. Dougie could be back in the first round at some point, hopefully. I'm trying to read all these things here. Blackatron, thank you for the super. Canes fans run their mouths. They lack the hardware. I mean, they do have a cup, but, they don't have the history that the Devils have, obviously. But, they do have a cup. It's not like and it's a more recent one than the Rangers, which is pretty funny. George says revenge mode. Yeah, it should be. Yes, no, this is only our third playoff appearance in 14 years. Where have you been? It's been a rough stretch, man. 17, 18, 22, 23, and now. A lot of dark years. Said Jets fan, got to split the goalies 50-50 at the minimum. Markey had been looking more like himself before last night, and he has a higher ceiling than Allen, who's still a great backup option. I agree that, when Markey's on his A game, he's much better than Allen. But if he's not, then it's more of a toss-up. But like the Jacob Markstrom we saw in Seattle, crazy stuff. Ryan, as a lifelong Devils fan, I'm ready to have my heart broken. I think we all are. But, at least we're in the playoffs to have it broken, and it's not broken from failing to make the playoffs for back-to-back years after setting the franchise record with 112 points in 22-23. Stanley says, Ace, forgot about Francis. Honestly, it's one of the few times I felt Stevens' aggression hurt the Devils. His hits ignited Carolina, and you could argue the 2 extra games NJ had to play really hurt them. It's possible, but that Avalanche team was just so good, man. It's just so crazy. And then Ray Bourque, Rob Blake, Hayduke, Sakic, Patty Waugh, Alex Tanguay. I mean, they were just so filthy loaded. Carson, run it back. These 2 teams' rivalries have been continuing to grow, and we meet again. Best of luck to you guys. May the best team come out on top. P.S. Please win Canes. Oh, I hope we crush your boys. I really do. Ryan, yeah, I don't know what to say. All the ups and downs. I thought this team was not going to make it, but we have pulled off the impossible and made it. Now let's go win the Stanley Cup. Well, I want to let's just start with winning the first round. But, man, just beating the Canes would be just a great feeling. And then at that point, I don't think anyone would be surprised by what the Devils could do after that. But that's a big first step. Nick says, why do most Siegenthaler game-worn jerseys have a yellow tint by necks? I've never noticed that. Yo, Nick, where is that? It looks like your profile pictures that's Darren McCarty, I believe, right? That's a pretty cool pic, man. Where did you meet McCarty? Nick, if you're still in here. Yeah, I got far behind on the comments because I just try to read too many, and then I fall behind, guys. I'm trying my best. You guys are chatty. Stanley, at John Trouba, there are levels. When he smashed Francis, NJ went up 3-0 in the series. Then things got way too close. Series almost won 7. They had some great players back then, too. Pro Bowl forever. The Devils make it past Carolina and Montreal upsets Washington. Devils Habs would be a fun series. Oh, man. That'd be wild if it was Devils Habs to go to the conference finals. LJ says, nah, Ace, we have too much Caniac trauma. Maybe for the young fans, it's house money. But if you're around for Marty going ballistic after that interference call, you want blood. Absolutely, man. Yeah, there is no such thing as house money. We need to freaking win this series. We are so overdue to kick their ass. Random man, how do you handle resting players in terms of end of season? I feel like you got to play Allen next game now. It's up in the air. I would not. If it was up to me, I would probably play Markey the next game. Markey, I won't be surprised if Allen plays, but there's no way Markey wants to have to wait until Sunday to get back in net after that stinker. He was probably seething all day today, and he will be tomorrow as well. I'm sure, knowing his demeanor and how he is, it seems like, he's the type of guy that can't wait for the next game because he wants to erase the memory of that absolute shit fest that we saw last night. Samuel says, no such thing as house money. If it's in front of me, it's my money. I completely agree. Heated rivalry brewing again, Max. Sunrise says, what about that epic comeback down 3-1 against Philly? Oh, you're talking about 2000 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 7? Whew. What a game. Scott Stevens just laying the smacketh down on Eric Lindros, blasting him into another galaxy. Patty Elias scoring with like 2 minutes left. That's probably my single favorite non-cup final series. And the Devils have had so many great series, though, on their cup runs, and even some great series in years they didn't win the cup. But that one probably sticks out to me as probably my favorite non-cup series, just because of the theatrics and the drama of it all. Samuel says obsessing over 4 in a row isn't worth the effort. Just win 4 out of 7 4 times. That's what I've been saying all year. You could win 3 out of 4 every time, and that's a cup. You never have to win. Winning 4 in a row is not a prerequisite to win a Stanley Cup. Ryan respects says the Canes fans are a plague. Joe Mama, does anyone know if we're getting any injured guys back before the playoffs? Probably Dougie in the first round, or so it seems. Samuel points out 2-2 versus the Canes this year. No reason we can't beat them. Yeah, it is crazy to me that people are so quickly writing us off. We do play better for the most part against better teams than the lower level teams of the world have given us trouble for a couple of years now, and we saw it again last night when the Bruins just kicked our ass. Max says, I really hope Toronto exits in the first round again. I do think Ottawa is going to take them out. And I think it's going to be a great series. I'll be rooting for Ottawa and my boy Brady. And I think that core is going to be proven to be a core that can't get it done. I'm very curious to see Brady Tkachuk in the playoffs. I think is going to be a very entertaining watch. Rich, do you think McDermott makes it into the lineup against the Canes to bring heavier, edgier, more violent for the playoffs, or is he just a ghost now? Oh, he's a ghost. He's definitely a ghost, Rich. If you do want to see Curtis McDermott, he does sometimes take warm-ups. And so you could see him take warm-ups some games, but I do not believe he will be in any games for the playoffs. I wonder, I hope they give him a game down the stretch here before the playoffs, because guys are going to be resting. But if you want to see the ghost of Curtis McDermott, I just dropped a link in the chat to a short. I know a lot of people are probably, wanted a wellness check to make sure he was still alive. I caught him. He took warm-ups for the Devils-Rangers game. I just took a little video and I put it up as a short just for, people that miss Curtis. You could get a little gander at him there during warm-ups. Eric, what was the record against each other this season? I remember each game being close. It was 2-2. Yeah, October 15th, Hurricanes beat us 4-2. Then November 21st, we beat them 4-2. Then December 27th, we beat them 4-2. And then the next day on the 28th, the Natchez dive game when Timo got suspended for the hit, they beat us 5-2. So it's 2-2, and they've scored one more goal than us total. Like the goal scoring overall is very close. We played pretty well against them. It is crazy how they're all, the way the schedule fell, that they were all, in the first few months of the season, and we didn't see them again in 2025. All 4 games were in calendar year 24. It's interesting. Ride and respect. Goaltending is going to be huge. Can't have 1 or 2 soft goals let in early and kill the vibe before the games even start. This team needs to ride good momentum all around. I agree. First goal in these games is going to be massive. Massive. Playing with the lead for this Devils club has been important all season long. And they're going to have to find a way to do it in the playoffs. Keefe made it it wasn't last year. He made it to round 2 the year the Devils made it to round 2, which was 22-23. Last year, they lost in the first round to the Bruins. Yeah. Sad Jets fan, that BS penalty in Game 6 screwed us. I'll never get over it. Referring to Bernier getting the boarding major that ended the game. That was terrible, man. I won't get over it either. 2012 and 2001 sting so much. Devils obviously super close in 2001, losing in Game 7. Failing to win Game 6 at home. They lost 2 in a row to lose the series. Yeah, it's like, if a couple things went the other way, the Devils could have won 5 cups. It's pretty wild. And you can make the argument, if you go back to 94, if the Devils had won that Game 7 against the Rangers in the conference finals, that we probably could have beat Vancouver in the finals that year. But just for finals, we made it to. I mean, the 2 that got away, it sucks. 3 cups in those 5 finals appearances. Joe Mama says, I'm just happy to be in the playoffs, man. I believe the guys can rally and make a run. Same here. And that's all I've wanted since I had much higher expectations. But after all the injuries and the, deadline day, I was just like, just get in. Just get in. Ariel, not the clinch I wanted, but I'm happy it's in the Rangers losing. Sorry, not sorry to all my Rangers friends. I'll take it any way it comes. Any way it comes, let's go. Stanley 62495 Ace. I always found the Cup final games to dip in energy, at least early on. I think the switch from conference rivals to Western opponent, it could feel a little flat. I think it depends on who. And obviously some teams could be kind of limping into the Cup finals. But I'm expecting a good Cup final this year. Love to see the Devils in it. I saw this stat the other day, Devin. We're the only team to hold a playoff spot from game 1 through 82, which is so crazy to think about, given the kind of roller coaster that we've been on. Pretty wild. Surprised Markey didn't smash his stick. Yeah, I think he was just very deflated. That game last night was brutal. Insane Pollock says, Ace, remember when this team was going through it in January and I said, calm down, this team will make the playoffs? Pepperidge Farm remembers? Wait, what is the Pepperidge Farm reference? Mark, the next best thing to winning to get you in the playoffs is having the scumbag losing to catapult you in. Mm-hmm. Was that something I was playing on my phone that you heard, Rich? I'm trying to figure out how you knew that. Did you hear what I was on my phone, Rich? Is that what happened there? Because now I'm like a little confused. I'm like, wait, did I play something on here? Max, no one is really a menace on the Canes where we would insert Big Mac. We get to the second round and Washington is the opponent. I say we insert him once or twice to deal with Tom Wilson. I don't know that the Capitals' first round victory is a guarantee. I know a lot of people are talking about it as if it's a foregone conclusion, but I think they could definitely get upset as well. Samuel says, Devils won the cup, and I'm driving up to 16W and wait for the parade. Well, let's not get carried away. Let's win a round first. But, man, I can't even fathom a parade. It's been so far removed since our parking lot celebration days. Carson, just don't draw at Aho like Wilson. That series would be full of headhunters. Everyone on our team will protect Aho no matter what. Oh, yeah, Wednesday was a fracas, right? Max says, you think the Devils would do the parade in Newark or somewhere else? No, it would be in Newark if they ever won. Max has odds makers, Carolina minus 255 and Devils at plus 206. It's decent value. Chico, what's up? He says, I'm late, but clinched. They did it without Booze Face's help. It's true. They did it despite us getting abandoned. Oh, Pepperidge Farm remembers a Family Guy reference. Okay, I'm not a Family Guy. I've seen little short clips here and there, and it seems pretty funny, but it was not something I ever was really into. Chico says, might be a loser mentality, but I've accepted the Devils will probably lose to the Canes. All I ask is they go down swinging. Don't let the Canes win the series. Make them survive it. Well, if we do lose, then you hope that that it is a scrappy dogfight. Okay, I was like, wait a minute. I played something on my phone. I love that. I love that beat. One of my favorite beats probably that it would probably be on my top 10 list. I really do like that beat. Bum, 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 bum. Cape Dog said, Insane Pollock with an ancient TV commercial reference. Chico might be short-sighted, but I wish they would change their mind on Gritsuk and bring him over now. I feel like him and Dougie coming back would make a run way more possible. Is it, Chico? Has it been? I stopped following it because I've said from the beginning, like, I'll believe it when this kid is here because all the nonsense involved with getting these guys over. Is it confirmed that it was like the Devils' tactical decision to try to save his entry level till next year? Is that what it is? If that's what it is, I'm livid. I thought his KHL team wasn't allowing him to come over yet. But if it's like the Devils just being like, we're trying to wait till next year, I think that's a travesty. An absolute travesty. Let me see if I could look it up. There was new stuff coming out like every so often, so I just kind of stopped. Chico said, I have no idea. I hope it's not up to the Devils in that case. I hope it's the KHL being dicks about it. I'd be pretty angry if they're saving him for the bright future. I think it could be. And now I'm like super curious to know because like I think you pointed out and several other people did. We all saw it that Gritsuk posted like his farewell to Russia or his KHL team. So it's like, why would he post that? If he didn't believe he was, going to the NHL like now, or maybe he just knew, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but I think a lot of people kind of thought the same thing. Like, bring him over now. Use the entry level contract now. Who gives a shit? Good night, John. Carson says, beating the Rangers in 23 must have been nice for y'all. No quit in New York. Oh, man, it was beautiful. Tons of videos on the channel, Carson, if you're interested in seeing Rangers fans get trolled. It was great. Watching them all file out. I have it all on video. It was beautiful. Yeah, beating the Rangers is always nice. Blackatron, if the Devils play heavier, edgier, and more violent, we will take a piece of Carolina's ass even if we lose the series. I just am nervous. I don't know. Maybe nervous isn't the best word, but I guess it's for lack of a better one. It's like, where did that team go? They were heavier, edgier, more violent in December, maybe even parts of November, and then it just kind of dissipated. Heavier, edgier, more violent went by the wayside, and we kind of just don't see that team anymore. Jay Snow, Demidov is literally on the same KHL team and is playing with the Habs now. Yeah. So, but who knows? I wonder if it could be different on a player-by-player basis. Like, does anyone know the real deal? Like, did Montreal have to pay them, like, ransom money? Like, I don't know how this works. But I really want to know. I really want to know what the story is, why he's not here. Samuel, you should know Ace cheap owners don't change spots. Saving a few bucks entry level means more than a cup. Man. It could be. That'd be super disappointing. Super disappointing. And Mark Simon says by Pharaoh Monch samples the theme from Godzilla versus, is that Mothra? Yeah, I saw a clip of the movie that it's from. It's a genius sample. And I actually believe I heard that he didn't even get it like cleared the proper way. Chico, I mean, how much can he possibly prove in 4 regular season games and however many playoff games they get? He'll still be a restricted free agent, and the cap is going to be going up every year for a while. No, I completely agree. Damian Jordan will always be the GOAT. Thank you, Ace. I've been saying that for years. Oh, it's not even close. It's not even close. Chico said this is the same GM who gave Kova, who has played well, $20 million for less than a season of play. Yeah, but I think a right-handed defenseman is a little bit different. And a big body right-handed defenseman is different than a somewhat, well, definitely unproven in the NHL, but a younger, that's not really young. Was he 24? A KHL guy that hasn't proven anything in the league. I don't think he would get tons of, how much money could he really want? SST said, if you get Gritsuk now, you cannot keep him next year because of Luke contract. Brains have never. That's not true. They could find a way to sign him for how much could he really want? A couple $1 million or $3 million? You definitely could find that money, SST. I completely disagree with you. First, you definitely. What do you think he's going to get? Probably $3 million or so. They could find that money. Samuel, the Christmas Grinch stole heavier, edgier, more violent. It certainly seems that way. Oh yeah, Chico, it's brutal. I agree. The cap space could be there. It's not going to be anything crazy. Yeah. I don't know if you know those teams can make trades. Chico, Avik says, Chico, forget about him. He spews negativity and BS. Carson, God, I have this Rangers friend on Discord. She's so annoying. All I heard from her was about our round 2 last year. Sweet revenge is nice. Couldn't imagine not even making the playoffs. It's pretty brutal. Blackatron, Devils have been saving their heavier, edgier, more violent play style for the playoffs. Screen cap this. I hope so, man. But I don't think to really go to war, I don't know that it's just something you could turn on. Like the teams that are good at it or they play that style more, most of the games. I don't think it's just something that they're just going to, come out and be like, all right, guys, now it's playoffs. Now go out there and smash people. Listen, I hope I'm wrong. But to completely do a 360 or a 180, I always say 360, a 180. To do a 180 and start doing it again after not playing that way for so long, I think it's kind of unlikely, but I hope I'm wrong because Carolina's not going to make it easy, and they're going to have to step up. Jay Snow, Fitz needs to have a big offseason. I don't know who he's going to move. Neither do I, but I'm curious to see. There's a couple options there. Chico, maybe I'm biased, but I still believe Kova is a system D-man. If it's me and he has for $20 million, I let him walk and look for his archetype in the offseason. Yeah, I mean, I could see that too. I think he's gonna be good though. I'm a Kovacevic guy. I like him. Mark, I have an Islander fan friend teasing me on how the Canes are going to sweep the Devils. More than anything, I want the Devils, even if they get bounced out in the second round, is to beat damn Carolina. I mean, Islander fans talking smack? Did your friend ever see them when they were good in the 80s or no? Chico said, Gritsuk's not getting 8x8 or anything insane unless the Devils win the cup and he goes nuts on the run. I mean, he would have to win the Conn Smythe. Let's be real. 8x8 off of a few games of the regular season and the playoffs. Yeah, he'd have to be setting playoff records. That'd be insane. Knowles, what's up with Quinn? Is he available next season or season after? And what's the hype with the Russian kid Gritsuk being lazy to read someone? Fill me in. Quinn Hughes has 2 more years left on his contract, at which that point he will be an unrestricted free agent and can sign with any team he desires, which a lot of people expect the New Jersey Devils to be in the mix, but 2 more years after this one. Oh, and Gritsuk, he was good. He's a prospect. He's 24. He was really good in the KHL, and we're hoping that he could come on this team and potentially be a top 6 guy, but if not a top 6, maybe a middle 6 guy, and produce some offense for a team that was in desperate need of it on many nights this season. Max says, maybe Keefe takes the choke collar off of the physical play. I certainly hope so. I want the heavier, edgier, more violent dogs back. I miss the December dogs. Carson, funny thing is, Max, we were a bad period away from potentially reverse sweeping them. Regular season champs aren't even close to the playoffs. Metro is basically set. Jay Snow, Gritsuk's literally like the only forward prospect we have besides Hami Naho. I think Cam Squires could be a decent one as well. He's a guy to remember. He's still super young. I think he's only 18. He's 19. He's been tearing it up in the juniors. Yeah. Last year he had 72 points in 66 games. This year he had 75 points in 58 games. Beast. Chris says, no matter what happens in the playoffs, I'm happy with how this team faced adversity. Future is looking up. Yeah, but they got to make a step now, Chris. I'm tired of Future's bright. I've been listening to how bright this future is for too damn long. And we should have, we should have had our official kind of turning the corner moment after that 22-23 season, which saw us set a franchise record with 112 points, in case you forget, and a beautiful 7-game series victory over our arch rivals, the New York Rangers, in the first round. You cannot take steps backwards after that. That is a team that should be maneuvering in win now mode. And unfortunately, we didn't. We missed the playoffs last year, and that was a massive regression, in my opinion. Carson, Isles fans can realistically not talk about you guys losing to us. They should educate themselves on the 23 and 24 round 1. Husky Chain, interested to see what Cotter can do in the playoffs. He'll actually get to play this time. I'm excited for playoff Paulie. I am super excited to see playoff Paulie. I think he's going to be a monster. Noah, Ace, you probably didn't hear it since you were at the game, but did you know that PK on the TV intermission broadcast let nikohischier rip? No, I didn't. I should try to look it up. It didn't come from. I don't think it came from anywhere. It was just PK being silly. He did one for all the guys or the starting lineup. He did like a funny name. Man, he let a nikohischier go, huh? I got to find it. $3.5. Yeah, I think $3 million would be. You're talking about. I'm assuming you're still talking about Gritsuk. Rich, if and when Dougie comes back, do we take out Casey or Dumo? I'm guessing Casey, but I like his game despite his size. It'll definitely be Casey coming out. That last kind of defender spot, which I do think you might see Chalowski and or Nemitz in these next 4 games. Maybe not, but maybe. But I definitely think Fitzy really likes his more veteran guys and would leave Dumoulin in and take out Casey if that's who's still occupying that last spot. Carson said someone might need to fact check that the Devils are the only team that stayed in a playoff spot. Winnipeg exists. I saw that showed somewhere. I don't know. I feel like I saw that on TV or something that they flashed that stat. Yeah, it's interesting. How would Winnipeg not have been in? Because they started off crazy. Yeah, they won their first 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. They started off 8-0. They lost one, and then they won 4, 5, 6, 7. Imagine that, guys. We haven't won 4 games in a row in 2 years and 2 months. Winnipeg starts off this season with an 8-game winning streak. They lose 1 game, and then they win 7 in a row. It's psychotic. They were 15-1. Yeah, they were definitely in a playoff spot all season long, too. So whoever reported that stat. Squires is 19. Why is he still in the queue? I don't know. I'm assuming that he might be moving on after. I don't know. What is the maximum age you could be? Let me see. I know. You could play to 20. You could play it at 20. So let me see. When does he turn 20? Oh, shit. He actually turns 20. His birthday's April 11th, so he'll be 20. Huh. These kids are so young. Party Burger, depending on the next few games, I wonder who we see more in the first round, Markey or Allen. It's going to be Markey's net. For sure. Markey's going to start the series, and hopefully he performs well, and he's in there for good. Mark, in response to my Islander fan friend's response earlier in the chat, he was there for the 80s dynasty teams. I keep reminding him that past history and haven't been to the final since 84. Yeah, it's been a rough stretch for them. Noel said, yeah, PK let it rip at the postgame. He was ragging on Messier hard, and I couldn't stop laughing. Classic PK. Yeah, PK's the man. Jason, no, only us, the Flyers, and the Sharks haven't won 4 in a row. Brutal. Chico, these long breaks recently between games are kind of brutal. Right now, I just want to watch Devils hockey. Yeah, I hate the long breaks. It's like we had so many stretches where it was like 4 games and 6 nights and like super crammed. They couldn't do a better job of spacing it out where we get these crazy, intense, 4 games and 6 nights or whatever it is, and then we go 4 days between games. It's kind of crazy. Fastest team ever to 15 wins, yeah, in 16 games. Yeah, where was this break in January when they were playing like garbage? Exactly. They're keeping us busy. Mark Blues just rattled off a 12-game winning streak to make the playoffs. It's pretty crazy. Winnipeg had an 11-game winning streak as well. Oh, yeah, they did. from January 22nd to February 26th. My God. Yeah, we can't get a 4-game winning streak in over two years and 2 months. They have a 7-game heater, an 8-game heater, and an 11-game heater. Holy shit. That's insane. 8, 7, and 11. Pfft, must be nice. It must be nice. Jay Snow, that's old to still be in the queue. Celebrini was barely 18 this year. Yeah, well, he's not Celebrini, dude. I mean, there's levels to this. Celebrini is a different story. They really do it by alphabetized? Is that really after one game how they do it? That's ridiculous. Vic says Jets can make it to the Cup final. Really think they do. I don't know if I trust them like that, but it is possible. I mean, listen, if Hellebuck plays up to his capabilities, you know, it could be finally the year where they could make a little cup appearance. Dylan's probably furious he left there. He's probably like, what the hell did I do to my life? I could have chilled. I could have chilled and been in the Cup finals. Chico, both coaches the Bruins have fired recently are having crazy success, and Omar is about to end the Sens playoff drought. I have to wonder if the front office is going to get cleaned out in Boston. Who knows? Yeah, what, Montgomery, right? Montgomery's killing it. Kennedy, who do you think maybe our second round in your dream situation? What do you mean, who do you think maybe our second round? Who would be like a dream matchup? Mark, Winnipeg has that one guy who almost became our goalie. Hella something. I wanted Hellebuck so bad. When those rumors came out, I wanted him so bad. That would have been goaltending would have been set for a very long time. You wouldn't have had to think about your goaltender, your starting goaltender anyway, for a very long time. I wanted him badly, but it is what it is. I like Markey, but that's not the same long-term solution that Hellebuck would have provided. Vezina caliber goaltending on a yearly basis for a decade or so. I'm jacked up though. We're in the dance, guys. We are in the dance. Anything could happen. Blues had a 12-game heater franchise record. Yeah, 12 games is nuts. Samuel doesn't care about winning 4 in a row. I don't care too much, but it would have been nice. And it is just frustrating now that there's been so many chances and they haven't been able to get it done. Jason, no one wants to chill in Winnipeg. Carson Max, I highly doubt it. The first game was a 6-0 win against Edmonton. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. He give me 16 out of 28. Yeah, winning every series in 7 games. That'd be crazy. Go to set and all of them would be on the road too, which is even crazier. To win 4 game 7s in one playoff on the road, I'm sure that definitely never happened before. Mark, I'm saying VGK is the team to beat in the West. I hate their fans, but they are a fairly sound team up and down the lineup. Yeah, Winnipeg is trying to win all the time. Vegas. They've done a great job since they've come in the league. They do what they got to do to win. Make some bold moves. Use your LTIR money. Max, Ace, I was wrong. Other teams played before Winnipeg played the first game, so they weren't in that playoff position. Stupid they would count that. Yeah, Winnipeg didn't ever drop out after the first game. That is dumb. Yeah, so it's like, oh, you didn't play a game yet, so you're not playoff eligible. Yeah, I would say for them to report the stat about the Devils is kind of BS. So I would include Winnipeg as well. That's like some nonsense technicality. Samuel, I want whatever team we could beat in the second round. If they somehow beat the Canes, then I'm saying this team would be flying high. Flying super high and capable of beating anyone. Vic, someone from the Jets I'd love to be on the Devils is Kyle Connor. It's a fantasy. I like Kyle Connor. I mean, listen, there's tons of guys on in the NHL, that'd be huge improvements for the Devils. But like Kyle Connor's over a point a game guy. Like, how are you getting a guy like him? It would take something miraculous, unless we eventually draft one, obviously. But the drafting woes for the Devils are pretty well known for a while. If you had to pick who would go against in the second round of the playoffs, who would you want? Oh, like if seeding, like if the bracket crap didn't exist, probably Montreal. I mean, that would probably be our, on paper would be like the easiest opponent, I would think. Both Florida, the Panthers and the Lightning are both very good. Ottawa would scare the shit out of me. I think Ottawa is going to be a very tough team to beat in the playoffs. And the Caps, I think we could beat as well, but I would feel more confident going against Montreal. Mark Ace, the Blackhawks had something like 30 wins in a row or something like that back during their Cup days. With Kane and Taves. $30? That seems insane. Their longest winning streak is 12 games in 15-16. Where did you get 30? 30 would be insane. Carson, I'm dreaming about a guy like Eichel or Kaprizov for our system. I think every team is dreaming of a guy like that. Adam, playoff hockey is all about toughness and hitting ramps up. Guys like Cotter will help a lot. Oh, let the bodies hit the floor. Last I looked, a couple days ago, Paul Cotter was 10th in the entire league in hits. Also a New Jersey Devils single-season record holder right now for most hits, even though the stats only been tracked since, I think 2007. Still impressive that he has the record now. Blake Coleman had it before. Like the PlayStation profile pic there, Adam. Total throwback. Mark, any team who I guess wins the President's Trophy is bound for failure. That trophy is a curse. Their record is 8-31 since that trophy was awarded. 4 teams winning that trophy and not winning the cup. Oof. Chico, I'm calling it out. Montreal and 6 over Washington. I think they're going to be emotionally gassed after the Ovi record and bounce out. You've been saying that for a while. I mean, that would be crazy. I'm trying to see if they have one of these stupid faux brackets up yet. I mean, yeah, if we could beat the Canes and the Canadians upset the Caps, imagine that path. Knock out the Canes and then you play the Canadians with the chance to go to the conference finals. Wow. Would be so sick. Max said Cotter is still 10th, 1 hit behind Foligno, 14 behind Gudas for number 8. He's going to probably, finish right there in the top 10. Mark, 92-93 Pens of the win streak with 17. Blue Jackets are second with 16 and 16-17. Yeah, just so many games in a row. I mean, do you remember when the Devils had their 13 game? I mean, it was just, you're like, when are they going to lose? It was crazy. But the fact that the Jackets are right there with 16 consecutive wins kind of makes me want to, cut myself a little bit. Yeah, how the Blue Jackets have any record of any kind is sort of mind-blowing. It really is. we're talking about a record that's not like a negative one, right? Like, most goals allowed over a 3-game stretch or something in franchise history. Samuel says Fitz comes in second in a one-man race. You guys are brutal. Porsche GM. Oh, my man, Patty in the building. If he's still, I know that was only a minute ago. Pat, what's up, Pat? Is it the edibles or the Tasmanian devil as a goalie above your right shoulder? It is not the edibles, Pat. That is in fact the Tasmanian devil as a goalie. And I'll give you a little bit closer look, Pat. This was a special series that the Warner Brothers, I don't know, is the Warner Brothers Foundation, I don't know, but one of my favorite pieces, Pat. It's funny you ask. This was a series they did years ago, making this sick piece of, this is like a sick lithograph here. And obviously you probably know what that looks like, Patrick, at the bottom there, huh, kid? What is that? Oh, that's the signature of the great Martin Brodeur, the GOAT. Yep, that's the signature of the GOAT and signed by both of the artists, the McKimson brothers. It's a sick piece. It's a sick piece that will forever adorn the walls somewhere or other in the museum. Now I got to hang this back up. But it's a good eye there, Pat. I can't get it back on the hook now. Oh. Carson said, you think the teams like Dallas, Vegas, Canes would also have a playoff spot the whole season? Yeah, but if you lose the first game or, you go 1-2 in your first 3, that's pretty much a very easy way. It's a very kind of weird stat. But like, who cares, right? Like, the Devils were in a playoff spot all season long. Like, great. Like, who really cares? What does that mean? Like, we had the tale of 2 seasons. Through December, we looked like a contending team, and then we just looked like a freaking lottery team for some games. Through January, February, March. And last night, was brutal. Vic says, no way Caps losing the first round after getting swept last year, plus the season they're having this year. Habs will give them a good run, but ultimately the Caps prevail. Chico's counting on that, they used all their mojo up on the Ovechkin goal record. It could be. I don't trust their goaltending either. I think that's like it's, you see teams win despite not having a superstar goalie a lot, like over the years. But then a lot of times you're like, damn, that team was a goalie away from maybe being a true contender. And I think that could end up happening with the Oilers as well. Like, you're going to need a big-time money goalie to get you over the hump. But we'll see. Teams have done it with kind of mediocre goaltending before. I wouldn't want to be in that position if you could avoid it. But teams have done it. Adam, imagine in 2027, Devils get Quinn and have Salayev on the team. Defense will be nasty, not to mention Yegorov will be here. I'm not so, hot to trot on the whole Quinn thing just because he's going to make a ton of money. Like, yeah, it would be cool. And like I said, for marketing purposes, like obviously tons of the little fangirls would love it. But he's going to cost a ton of money. And with all the young defensemen we have now, including Luke Hughes and Casey in the pipeline and Nemitz and Salayev, I do think that money would be better spent on forward help, in my opinion. But I'm not going to be like, oh, no, don't get Quinn. Obviously, he's a world-class player. But on the surface, it seems like we would have more pressing needs up front than another defenseman. But, I do think it's going to probably happen. I think he's going to want to try to come here, and the Devils are going to try to make it happen. Porsche, amazing. I love it. It's a sick piece. Yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic. Yeah, the Tasmanian Devil Lithos peak 90s for sure. No, it's not that big of a deal. I can hang it back up. I just want to clock the light in the process. Jason, no, the worry is if Nico, Bratt, Timo don't score, where's the offense coming from? Well, obviously, if Bratt, Timo, and Nico are not scoring, then you're going to have to get some depth scoring. And that could come from, possibly a little Paulie Cotter with the Silky Mitts appearance. You could get a random Tatar goal, a random, you never know. Maybe Sprong comes to life. I thought he has looked okay and, looked decent in the past few games, despite not really, scoring. He had that assist, But we're going to need bottom 6 guys to score and maybe a couple goals from defenders, which has obviously been very rare this year as well. But would be a nice time for the defense to start scoring once in a while. Because I do fear that if the Canes do shut down the big guns, then you're going to need, your depth guys to produce. And the Devils have not been great with depth production pretty much for most of the year. And offensive production from the defense as well hasn't been a strong suit. So hopefully Dougie can come back and, give us a little offensive spark from the blue line. Damien says, in terms of defense, assuming Dougie is coming back, I would still keep in either Nemitz or Casey, mainly Casey. Dumoulin is not bad. Just don't know if I can trust him enough, but hey, just my opinion. I can't see Dumoulin coming out and leaving Casey in. I just can't see it. They're going to go with the experience. Adam said, I agree. Do need forward help in the next year or two. We need forward help now, if we're being real. That's why I so desperately wanted, when I heard about the Gritsuk rumors, I was like, oh, that would be amazing if we could get him over here. But it seems like now he's not coming until next year. There's going to be a lot of holes for Fitzy to fill over the summer. The bottom 6 gut renovation project is going to be an interesting one. What is going to become of this bottom 6? Who's going to be brought back? Who's not going to be brought back? Find out on July 1, probably. You will see what the revamp in the bottom 6 looks like. What does Fitzy do? Damien says, I say Casey only because we need the scoring. Thankfully, he's like Luke, where he could go back and forth at a fast pace. Yeah, I like Casey a lot. I think he's going to be phenomenal. I just think that probably Fitz and Keefe are both a little weary of thrusting him into playoff action, kind of with where he's at in his game right now. It would be maybe a different story if he was here all year, but he played the majority of the season in Utica. And I think thrusting him into a playoff war like the Canes, a very good forechecking team, I think that would be, he would kind of be a target for sure. The Canes would be gunning for him hard. LJ said, need the invisible 6 to appear for the first round. Knowles calling it an early night, Ace. As always, thank you. Until game 1 against the Canes, let's go Devils. Good night, Knowles. Oh, you got a nice little profile picture there, too. It's a Michelangelo Turtles video game situation there. Let me see what's going on the out-of-town scoreboard. Oilers and Blues. Maybe I'll watch the end of that one. Ooh, Leafs beat the Lightning in OT. Wow, it was a nice Hattie in overtime. Pretty sick. That was a huge game for the playoff standings. The Lightning, I think the playoffs this year are going to be sick. I just have that feeling we're going to see some great series. Joe Mama, I wonder if Hall will be back. I like the way he plays, but his production is brutal. I don't know how they're, I think he's signed up for, is it 1 more year? It might even be 2 more years. Nah, 1 more year. So he's unrestricted after next year. Now, I think he'll be back. Mark said, I think the biggest knock against Casey is his size, but Lane Hudson and Quinn Hughes are also tiny. For sure, but he's also inexperienced and young and tiny. I think in time he's going to be a beast. But the size issue with the inexperience at the moment at the NHL level, especially going against a team like the Canes in the playoffs, I think it's going to be a scary kind of thing. Guys, we're going to the playoffs, guys. I don't know if you heard, but the New Jersey Devils are headed to the postseason, looking for some beautiful payback and revenge on a team that has owned us for so long. That has owned us for so damn long. I mean, wow. Yeah, getting Nason going will be nice. Getting Nason going against his former club would be real nice. I liked his goal a lot last night. You know, Nason in his office right there getting down and dirty in the crease down low. Put a nice one in. He's going to have to get real gritty in this playoffs. And I think he's another – him and Cotter are the guys I want to see really step it up. Vic says, sure as heck don't want the Leafs to get by round one. No, I want them out. I would love to see it again. The funny thing is, if they do get out of the first round, you know they're going to be talking so much smack on Sheldon Keefe. And they're going to blame it all on him. Like, oh, you see, it was all Keefe's fault. Even though I think I think it's more of an indictment on that that core four of theirs. I just think is not a winning combination. Now, look, I could be proven wrong, but you know, how many times do you need to see the same thing with that group of four? And you know, I think Marner's going to be gone, and possibly Tavares as well this offseason. Damon said, let's be honest, every playoff series gets better and better as each year passes. It depends. But we've seen some great series in the past couple of years. Ryder, I think that unless Dougie's ready to come back in, you have to play Nemitz and threaten shipping his ass off to a rebuilding team if he gives anything less than 100% effort. It's an interesting kind of proposition there. I'm real curious to see what the pairings look like. I guess we're going to find out in practice tomorrow. I'd imagine we'll see what the pairings are and kind of how they're slotted out there. Coming off of that beatdown, will we see lineup changes? And, you know, how does clinching the playoffs change things? Max, I can't wait till we score our first goal at home and hear the Rock explode. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait either. I'll be there. I will be there. Hall has the worst goal song. Fortunately, we don't have to hear it too often. You don't like Missy Misdemeanor Elliott? Yeah, but Jay Snow, what is a hometown discount? Teams are going to offer him tons of money, over a point per game. I mean, what do you think his put it this way? What do you think his market value is that other teams would offer him? And then what do you think he would take to stay in Toronto? Like, teams would throw him $8 million easily, maybe even more. Fix it. That's exactly why I don't want them to make it out. The Keefe smack talk. Leafs fans forget that Keefe got them to round two. They got short memories. Joe Mama said Leafs should have moved Marner last year. I mean, but how many teams are going to be in the position to trade the assets that Toronto would want for him and then also be able to pay him? Like, I fully expect, you know, this if he gets to free agency, what is he going to want? 13, 14 million a year? Like, how many teams are going to be in the position to pay him that? It'd be interesting to see. They tried what this year? And he said no. Oh, are you talking about Tavares? Carson Orlov will sell the series to you despite him getting enough money. We need Mercer to show up in the playoffs, says Jay Snow. Yeah, that'd be nice. A big playoff out of Mercer. We need everyone to elevate their game. We're going to need a lot of guys to step up Joe Mama said Marner is getting paid next year. I think it's going to be crazy. I wouldn't be shocked if a team gave him 11. He's getting more than that, dude. Rantanen just signed for $12 million, I think, or was it 12.5? I definitely think he gets more than Rantanen. Yeah, Rantanen signed for 12. Yeah, he's got to get at least that, if not more. Max Marner got that prove it deal, and he has like 97, 98 points. He delivered. I think Leafs try and keep him or rob someone. He's going to want a ton of money. Jason, no, he always wanted to be a Leaf. Tavares, I heard Leafs insiders say most likely he'll take less money to return. Yeah, but how much? How much less? Because teams are going to offer him a ton. And Tavares, you don't remember when he left the island that I think when the day he signed with the Leafs, he posted a photo of himself as a kid in Toronto Maple Leaf pajamas. You don't remember this? It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Islanders fans wanted blood, including my boy Pat, who was just in here. Islanders fans wanted blood. I wanted blood for them. When I saw him post the Maple Leafs pajamas thing, I wanted to go to his house and give him the Stone Cold Stunner. I couldn't believe it. I was like, the audacity of this kid, or this man, still pretty young, but yeah, posted at the time, posted a picture of himself in freaking Maple Leafs pajamas. Oh my God. Do you guys know we're going to the playoffs, by the way? Cheers to all you. The New Jersey Devils are going to the playoffs. I don't even like champagne, but it's one of those occasions, you know? It's a special night. Cheers to all of you. The Devils are going to the playoffs. Vic said Leafs tried to move Marner this year for Mikko when he was on the Canes. Mitch said no. That doesn't surprise me. Marner never shows up in the playoffs. He was a bit of a ghost last year. He's just another one of those guys I think it's kind of easy to negate in a playoff series when the ice shrinks and guys are getting smashed in the face and along the boards. He doesn't, listen, he's a great player, and I would love to have a player like him. But for the amount of money that he costs, I wouldn't want to pay it. I do think he's another one of these kind of, finesse skill guys that don't necessarily thrive in playoff wars. And in the end, would you rather your guy put up 100-point regular seasons or put up some meaningful points in the playoffs on a long run? The Toronto PJs were insane. Toronto PJs were nuts. I'll bet his undies are Maple Leafs branded. Ryder, the Canes also have $37 million in choke space. May not be us, but it will come shortly after. Just remember, everyone, Leafs isn't a real word. I always thought that was funny as a kid. Why are you not the Leaves? Joe Mama, 3 and 4 days between games are killing me. Yeah, our schedule is terrible this year. Lots of busy stretches where we played 4 or 5 games in a week, and then we have a random 4 days off. What do we have? It was 4 days off between the Ranger game and I forget what game was before that, but it felt like an eternity. Felt like an eternity. Let me see. Mark says, wasn't Parise conspiring with Ryan Suter to play in Minnesota when he was still a Devil? I don't know that that's ever been proven. People have talked about it. I don't know if that's necessarily fact or not. Over the years, my memory of it's gotten a little fuzzy. I know that was kind of like a speculation thing. A lot of people thought that was the case. I don't know if that was ever proven, that there was like this big conspiracy theory for them to go play in Minnesota or not. But, I think his father was sick. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just as black and white as a lot of fans try to make it out to be. I just said, I remember Isles fans calling him Pajama Boy all the time. Pajama Boy. Yeah, I remember seeing that, and I was like, oh, my God. I knew that they were going to Islander fans were going to want blood, and rightfully so. Why would you post that? It's just like, it's just adding unnecessary trauma after he. And from what I remember, I think he led the Islanders to believe he was going to sign there. And then he just didn't. Man. Ryder said, I'll take Bratt over Marner any day. Jason said, Dougie's making $9 million. He's robbing us. Well, you got to pay to get sometimes in free agency to get guys here. I think someone else would have paid him if we didn't. He was a big time free agent. A lot of teams were in on him. So, ideally, would you have liked to pay him less? Yes, but you weren't getting him if we didn't come with that offer. Ryan Demand, even after last game against the Bruins, which was absolute shit, I still think Markey's our goalie for the playoffs, and I think he will drag us on a deep run. I agree. Go Boro, what's going on? Here we are, Ace. Got here finally. We are going to the postseason, my friend. Marie said, so awesome, but hasn't sunk in yet, especially after last night. Yeah, that was terrible. And again, listen, I wish we were going in on a high note, that we won last night, got the 4 in a row, punched the ticket to the playoffs, but in the end, Rangers loss is what put us in. Would you look at that? Gobor said, imagine Dougie without the injuries and a little heavier, edgier, more violent. I mean, this team without the injuries would be a much better team, I believe. But we have injuries. We have to persevere. Got to find a way to get it done. Joe Mama says, I don't mind the Dougie contract. Dude puts up points. He does when he's healthy. Bratt nominated for Masterton. Is that real? Oh, there's one from every team though. Yeah, that's not the same as like a different award. Will Dougie be ready for round 1? We're never going to know till it happens. But from everything that's being said and from what it seems like there's a very good chance Dougie's back for round 1, which would be phenomenal. What a boost. Vic, going to call it a night. We made it to the playoffs. Let's go Devils. Good night, Vic. Maria, the brain should be outside MSG. That would be some real trolling, huh? That would be legendary level trolling, or at least a pass by. Go Boro. Palat better deliver in the playoffs, though. If he doesn't, then got to go for a buyout or a trade to Chicago, San Jose, Nashville. Nice. Hopefully he steps up big. Playoff Palat. Tyler, thank you for the super. Was just at the Prue to see Deftones. Just hold on 1 second. We've disconnected. We'll be back in a second. We lost video. Hold on 1 second. We're back. I was at the Prudency, Deftones, and Let's Go Devils chants in the concourse when they clinched. That's very cool. How was the concert? I haven't been to a concert at Prudential in a while. I don't think there's been anything there that I've wanted to see in quite some time. It's been a little bit since I've seen a concert there. Carson, JS going to say it for free. Watch out for the most underrated D-man when you play as ace. Most people still somehow don't know who he is after Four Nation. JS going to say it. Well, I would agree that Slavin's probably not a household name. Like I mean, hockey fans know, but like casual fans probably don't. No, something happened with the camera. Max, Slavin is going to be stuck to Brad all game. So far up his butt, he'll be smelling like Swedish fish. Oh. Tyler, Deftones was incredible. Have a terrible headache from the headbanging. Oh, boy. What time did I guess, yeah, well, you just got back now. Man. Yeah, I haven't been to a concert at Prudential in a while. I've been to UFCs there not that long ago. But yeah, I definitely haven't been to a concert there in forever, actually. A very long time. UFC is going to be back there in June. Oh, my God, the tickets are ridiculous. Yeah, UFC's gotten out of control with their ticket prices. Oh, my God. Go, Boro. Hugs for y'all. I'm glad we got to the playoffs. This has been a hard playoff to get to, and the season's been exhausting. But bottom line, we got there. Now we can be hyped for the playoffs. Absolutely. Chase, no need. Cody Glass, our amazing deadline pickup to score some goals. But you don't think he's going to be the difference maker to bring us to a cup? Go, Boro. I spotted a yellow Devils jersey in the wild. I don't know what it is. Do you know what it could be? Where did you see it? Are you the one that brought this up last night? Someone brought up a yellow jersey, and I thought it could have been like the Goldish Canada jersey. But if you're talking like, was it like Big Bird yellow? It probably was a practice jersey. They've had some funky colors over the years. Max says, time for bed. I'm presenting a quote tomorrow for $450K worth of windows. Holy shit. Got to be sharp. Good luck to you, sir. $450K worth of windows must be a big job of replacing every window in some palatial estate. My God. Tyler, I'll be there for O'Malley and Rob. I've been there for the last two fights. What were the most recent two cards there? I can't remember. The tickets are insane, dude. I can't justify that kind of money for that main event. Like John Jones and, I'll pay whatever. But like Marab and O'Malley, that ain't doing it for me at that kind of price. $800 is it's insane. It's completely insane. Go, bro. WWE prices are insane too. $400 for a ticket to see him in Glasgow. $400 for WWF. Man, everything has gotten out of control now. Cody Glass is going to have a monster postseason. Conn Smythe or bust. Max, new construction, historic district, large, ginormous windows, 60, 70 windows in the house. Wow. Snell, we need to push as hard as possible to try and catch the Canes for home ice. With both of our schedules, 100% possible to catch the Canes for home ice. Come on, man. That's not happening. Jay Snow, I want O'Malley to knock Marab out. Honestly, Marab fights are super boring. He just shoots every 2 seconds. He's a wrestler, man. Good luck, man. 10% commish, huh? That ain't too shabby. Are you presenting to like an architect or the homeowner? I'm curious. Dustin Poirier and Islam was last year. What was the one before that? A UFC tournament of the best fighters in Devils history. Who would be in the final? It would depend if takedowns are allowed or not. Unhinged. Yo, joining now. What are we saying? Clinched, but we blew against Boston. I couldn't even post game. No 4-game win streak was rough to watch. Better beat Pitt. We'll watch your recap. I didn't even do a recap. I just did the live, and I didn't have the energy. It was so bad. There was nothing to even talk about, but would have preferred to punch our ticket to the playoffs. Obviously, winning last night and getting the 4 in a row would have been great, but here we are, getting in off of a Rangers loss. I'll take it. Not the way I would have scripted it, but I'll take it. Bilal and Gilbert Burns. You're presenting to the house manager. We're talking Harvard Professor Rich. The house manager, huh? Go Boro, bar, brawl, rules, ace, no nut shots. What would be the final then? So then you're talking takedowns and wrestling is part of it, right? Takedowns and wrestling are allowed. So I'm gonna go. The final would be Christoph Oliwa and probably Cam Jansen. Henry Cejudo and Aljo was the main event 2 years ago. Bilal and Burns was the co-main event. I'm trying to think, what was the last one I went to at Prudential? Maybe it's been a while since I've been to one at Prudential then. Now it's going to bother me because I can't remember. The fight cards at MSG in Novembers are always bangers. The November MSG cards are always stacked. Unhinged, we agree. Almost mounted a comeback, clinching by other division teams, blowing even worse than us. We are capable, just not consistent. Totally agree with that. Max, the crazy thing is they have a pool house, which will be an additional $85K to $100K job. I'm super excited because the house manager said she uses Pella for all her properties. Seem guaranteed, but it ain't. Is that who you work for, Max? And can this like house manager try to call like other locations of the same company to try to get a better quote? Sales at this level is high stakes poker here. Unhinged, we cannot get knocked out by the Canes. This happened too many times. Completely agree. We owe them an exit. We 100% owe them to bounce them out of the playoffs. And I hope everyone that was on the team, which is a ton of guys, I hope all of the guys that were on the team in 22-23 when they eliminated us, I hope they all remember it and remember it vividly. And I hope that they want some retribution for how that felt after that beautiful win against the Rangers to get bounced in round 2 and have the dream come to a screeching halt. You gotta want to do it back to them. Ethan said, if Devils make it to the finals, I will buy you front row tickets to UFC. Jay Snow, Luke was literally responsible for about 3 goals. Yeah, not a great game for Luke last night, but he'll be back. He's been a monster this year, and he's gotten a lot better in the past, it seemed like a few months, just really making strides. Max, no, not if she wants our installation that has a 10-year guarantee with transferability. Look at you. Okay. Who would you most want to face in the Stanley Cup final? Oof. That's a good one. Selfishly, when I think about that, I think about what places I think would be the cheapest to travel to for road games between, flight and tickets at the game and all that stuff. So I always look at it kind of differently, but Avalanche obviously would be cool. Playing Dallas again in the Cup Finals, 25 years later, we played them in the 2000 Cup Finals. Playing them 25 years later would be pretty cool. But knocking out the Avs would be cool, but they're dangerous too. Yeah, revenge tour. Jay Snow said, I'm quitting my job. Where do I sell windows? Jay Snow, I was about to say the same thing. You could see it after the goals on his expressions. He can do awesome clutch stuff one game, but he's so young, could also make defensive gaffes next game. Yeah, high risk, high reward at the moment. Oh, it happened again. All right, hold on me. You can still hear me, though, I think. So crazy how Boston Devils are still holding at 70 despite all the shit. Yeah, it's the last game of the season, so people probably want to go. Bruins fans probably want to go. They got some diehards. Yeah, work for a company called Palo Windows. We are a value company, not the cheapest by any means. Yeah, what's your big competitor? Like, what's your biggest competitor? Like Anderson Windows, maybe? There's Palo Windows out here for sure in New Jersey. Would be the nightmare running with the Devils line? What do you mean by that, Goboro? What do you mean by the nightmare line? Yeah, clarify what you mean. Tyler, who's your X factor for us this postseason besides Markey? I mean, outside like an unexpected or like the expected. I mean, I think Timo's going to have a big series. I do worry that they find a way to make it difficult on our top guns. And then we're going to have to really rely on special teams a lot, obviously, make the most of our power plays and get depth scoring. But I do think Luke could definitely be an X factor for sure. Like, could we see the full kind of full circle moment for Luke to just come in there and, get a game-winning goal or make a big assist or, a big play on a power play that leads to a goal? I do think Luke could really be one of those guys to have like a full-scale coming out party on the big stage. I probably won't bet on them. Maybe I'll bet on them to win the cup. I have to look at the odds. The odds have been all over the place. Max, look for my application. Go Boros says X Factor, Meyer, Bratt. I think Timo's going to have to set the tone and start crunching people. You can make great money. I just secured a 150-unit condo complex. Has to come to me if they want to do anything. Nice. A little exclusive. Yeah, Nason and Cotter. Those are the heavier, edgier, more violent forwards we got in the offseason. And I've said for a while now, I think they're going to be the real junkyard dogs in the playoffs. Playoff Paulie. I do think playoff Paulie is going to be very interesting. Would like to see some big, physical plays at him. Maybe a couple big goals. Maybe some big hits. But, all right, I'm going to the bathroom real quick. 2 minutes, and then we'll wind this thing down. Throw out your final questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, whatever you got. Throw it out there in the chat, and then I'll start wrapping it up when I come back from the bathroom in 2 minutes. So, yeah, questions, comments, thoughts, suggestions, whatever you got. Throw it out there in the chat. I'll be back in 2 minutes. We'll wrap this thing up. Definitely need Timo to score. Yeah, plus 205 is pretty decent, I think. Alex said, I'm glad we clinched a playoff spot, but the game against Boston yesterday was not acceptable. No, it wasn't, but luckily it was only one game. Hopefully it's out the window and we look good Friday night. Luke will be playing for the big contract. He'll be wanting jack money or more, 8.3 times 8. Oh, man, I hope it's between 7 and 8. I hope it's 7 or 8. Go Boros, like, can I join the big contract bet? If I win Ace, can I get a cold one at the tailgate party? In fairness, I made my prediction months and months ago. It was probably like in November that I made my prediction of 7 to 8, while SST said something stupid like, I think SST said 2.5 to 4 million, like something ridiculously low that I told him was beyond delusional and there was no prayer. And my guess then was 7-8. If I was to re-guess today, I'd probably guess slightly higher. I do think he's probably proven a little bit more than I thought he would have at this juncture, especially with Dougie going down. That probably helped his case to get a little more money, but I'm still hoping it falls between 7 and 8. Felix, good night all. Thanks, Ace. Let's go Devils. Good night, Felix. Jay Snow, St. Louis got big bodies that could just sit net front. It's a huge problem for the Devils. We don't have guys that can sit and bang net front enough. I mean, Nason can. You've seen the junkyard dog down in his office doing some intermittent damage over the course of the season. Yeah, the tipping pucks thing is annoying. We get beat by them like every game, and we barely ever get them. It's like, see what that team's doing? Park someone in front and just fling shots from anywhere towards net and let them tip them. If I had to pick again today, I'd pick a little higher probably, but I made my guess back then, so I'm sticking to it. Max said, tuning back in, Ace, you got to look at X. I sent you a video. Let's see. This is Binnington getting feisty. Oh, wow. Yeah, Binnington's a feisty one. A little fracas. Damn. Corey Perry throwing down. Ooh. Corey Perry's just hanging on for dear life. That was a pretty good one. Ace, do you like Ehlers as a guy we could target in the offseason if they put him on the table? Yeah. A lot of people like him. I think he's a very good player. The only thing that worries me a little bit is he's not that. I mean, he's listed at 6', 172, almost a point a game guy. A lot of people are in love with him. Listen, there's no shortage of guys that could help us. We're we're desperate, but I don't know how we're ever gonna pay somebody or get someone under cap without trading significant salary out, because it is going to be tight with the Luke raise and everything else. So I don't know that we're going to be in a position to make a move like that big. It'd be cool if they were. I just don't know what the feasibility is going to be with the cap situation. All right, guys, that's it. I'm tired. I got shit to do here. But your New Jersey Devils are headed to the postseason. Unfortunately, we couldn't go in on a win of our own, and we had to go in because of a loss by the New York Rangers, but I will take it. The ticket is punched. The New Jersey Devils will be going to playoff battle with the Carolina Hurricanes, and hopefully they find a way to get revenge. I hate the Hurricanes so much and want to beat them more than anything, but yeah, hit the thumbs up for your boy on the way out. Got some stuff coming out in the next few days. Wow. Devils in action Friday against the Pens and Sid the Kid, who's been so damn good forever. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Thanks for coming out to celebrate our clinching of the playoffs through a loss of the Rangers. We are in. I'll take it. Like I said, not how I would have scripted it, but we're in. I'm super jacked. There will be late April hockey at the Rock, potentially into May. And I'm ecstatic, guys. It's been almost 2 years and way too long. But that's it. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.